Namaste. I'm at 32, standing at a crossroad of unfinished PhD, unfulfilled societal promises, and my own raw ambitions. I realization of a hit back very harshly. I don't need a guru or I don't need a pre-packaged divine permission slip. That's what I'm thinking, as we all are thinking. The ancient texts left a question unanswered because they were written for a different era. Is it so? The society that judged you was reading from a manual you never signed up for. The good child has a step aside so the real, complex, flawed, and brilliant human being can finally take the microphone. This is not just an intellectual exercise, it is the raw starting point of finding out who you are when all the borrowed expectation finally burns away. Let's deep dive. To understand why we feel so trapped right now, we have to look at how a different philosophical and historical framework throughout a human history have tried to answer the question of human agency, how much control we actually have over our own life. Here is what this diverse tradition represent in everyday language. Let's see. First, Taoism. Don't force, don't resist, be like a water. This entire ranking of more agency versus less agency is actually a trap. Be neither passive nor active, and that is the teaching. Next agency, Mahayana Buddhism. You have reached enlightenment. The exit from suffering is right there, but you turn around as a compassionate guide, bodhisattva, because others are still stuck. You stay to help. Next agency, Confucianism. You improve yourself, but always with your social role as a son, as a father, as a friend, as a wife, as a mother. Individual will be secondary to keeping the social system working through duties. Next society. Stoicism. You don't control what happens. You control how you respond. That's it. Discipline, non attachment makes you a steady in a chaotic world. Next society, Vajrayana Buddhism uses everything from a desire, anger, and fear as a fuel, where other path says renounce. This one says transform to achieve a realization quickly. Next agency, Charvak. No code, no soul, no karma, no afterlife, just a life right now. Eat well, enjoy existence, and drop a complicated metaphysics. Next society, Judaism. Viewing a divine relationship as an active partnership. Tradition highlights a questioning, wrestling with ideas, and debate as a form of deep devotion. Next society, Judaism or a yoga. Happiness is not just a fleeting emotion, it is the result of cultivating excellence in our own body, mind, and daily habits. You are what you repeat. Next society, Marxism. The point is not just to interpret the world, but to change it through the collective action and social revolution. Next society, Shintoism or a Shintoism, finding the sacred in a nature, rivers, mountain, daily work done with a full mindful attention. Next society, deism, the view that creators set up. the universe by natural laws and left it to run on its own, relying purely on a human reason rather than miracles. Next society, effective altruism, using a data, logic, and spreadsheet to maximize the measurable good and save the most lives possible. Next agency, Viking paganism, a worldview acknowledging that hardship and endings are inevitable, yet choosing to stand and fight with a courage anyway. Next agency, Greek heroism, pursuing excellence and legendary legacy, knowing that fate and time will eventually break you. Choose a greatness regardless. Next society, Sikhism, meditating spiritually while actively standing up, fighting a injustice and serving a humanity in the thick of everyday life. Next agency, Mormonism, the theological view that humans have the eternal potential to grow, build, progress, and become divine through the discipline. Next is Pentecostalism, emphasizing a direct spiritual authority, active declaration, faith, and speaking realities into existence. Fascia or legalism is our next society, a classical political philosophy arguing that people are self interested, so society required tight laws, clear rules, and strict incentives to maintain order. Next society is existentialism, the premise that life has no built in a blueprint or a human nature. You are totally free and fully responsible for creating your own meaning. Next is Zoroastrianism, viewing a material world and the physical body as inherently good, calling a humans to act as a partners in fighting a falsehood and evil. Next is Kashmir Saivism, a non-dual philosophy viewing the material world as the real, the body as a temple, and deep desire or energy as a fuel for a spiritual realization. Next society is Rigvedic Hinduism, an ancient framework embracing both material wealth and spiritual depth, where life is lived fully without a guilt or rigid asceticism. Next society is Objectivism, the philosophical stance that your life belongs to you and rational self interest and personal production are the highest virtues. Next society, transhumanism, the belief that biologically limitation and death are engineering problem to be solved through technology, genetics and science. Next society is Ajivika, an ancient fatalistic school holding that cosmic destiny dictates everything absolutely, making a human effort irrelevant. Next society, postmodernism, the analytical view that objective universal truth are narratives built around the power structures, viewing a culture through the critical deconstruction. Next society, Jainism, emphasizing a extreme non harm called ahimsa and internal self conquest by minimizing external action and attachment. Next society, Theravada Buddhism, focusing on extinguishing craving, letting go of the ego, driven illusion of a permanent self, ending the cycle of suffering. Next is Epicureanism, withdrawing from public stress, fame, political ambition to cultivate a quiet, simple life with close friend. Next society is Sufism, a mystical Islamic tradition focused on dissolving the ego through the love, poetry, inner devotion, and spiritual surrender. Next society, critical theory, examining culture and institutional primarily through the lens of power dynamics to critique systemic structures. Next society, Advaita Vedanta, the non dual realization of ultimate unity, viewing everyday phenomenal reality as a transient illusion called Maya. Next society, Vaishnavism, a devotional path of complete surrender, placing one's agency and trust entirely in the divine. Next agency, Calvinist Protestant, historical theological views emphasizing a absolute divine sovereignty and predestination. Next society, Sunni Islam, a foundational Islamic tradition emphasizing absolute submission to a one creator, strict monotheism, and historical community structure. Next society, Catholicism, a global religious framework balancing a free will, divine grace, structured tradition, institutional history, and moral teaching. Take your pen and paper right now. Write which of these philosophies you used till now. What is the outcome? And what is still not understood at this stage of life? This helps you to heal. Every single one of this framework is just a lens human built to cope up with existence. When you feel crushed by expectation, it's because you tried live inside someone else's lens. Why am I not understanding the reason to fit in these boxes or accepting all of this is just a one life? Why I'm so confused now? If you are having the same feeling, stay peace, stay depth, stay zen. Thank you.